And tonight's debate comes after last week's presidential showdown right here in Cleveland. Since last Tuesday, President Trump and a growing list of associates of staff and members have tested positive for COVID-19.
So tonight's event will include more safety precautions, including plexiglass between the candidates, more spacing, COVID testing for everyone, and mandatory masks.
For the people involved in this debate hall, 5 on Your Side investigator Jonathan Walsh talks with one medical expert who wonders if the debate should even happen.
It's worth stepping back to ask the question about whether the debates need to happen in person at all.
And so started my conversation with longtime epidemiologist from Brown University, Dr. Mark Lurie. He points out there are lots of ways to have the debate where Mike Pence and Kamala Harris don't have to be side by side.
And there's no particular requirement that they need to be in front of a live audience.
Tonight's safety measures include plexiglass, very different than the 2016 VP candidates sitting at the same tables.
Hold on a second. It's my time, Senator.
The candidates will be 12 feet apart. In the past, we've heard 6 feet is safe. Heck, our children go to school with desks 6 feet or even 3 feet apart for an entire day.
The reason that we're getting mixed messages about what the correct distance is that, in fact, we don't really know.
The White House says Mike Pence has tested negative several days in a row now, but he was also seen at a recent Rose Garden ceremony where now several people in attendance tested positive. Plus, 6 of the president's debate preppers have now tested positive, heightening concern that the president may have had the coronavirus while in Cleveland.
This debate is being conducted under health and safety protocols designed by the Cleveland Clinic.
And while in Cleveland, safety protocols designed by the Cleveland Clinic were not followed, masks not worn and not enforced. Big mistake, says Mark.
If people refuse to follow that guidance, then your rules are a complete waste of time.
We've seen several statements from Cleveland Clinic since the presidential debate last week. The clinic saying it relied on the campaign staffs to test and certify results, that they thought there was a low risk of exposure. But Mark points out tests aren't 100% accurate. And if you get the virus and test a short time later, you would get a negative test result because there's a window of time before a positive test would show up.
It's not perfectly usable as a day-to-day monitoring tool.
And just yesterday, the clinic released a statement saying it helped create safety requirements, but in the same statement it says its responsibility is to provide advice about safety, and that questions about implementation and enforcement should be directed to the CPD, Commission on Presidential Debates. For tonight and any potential future debates, Mark says one thing is important to keep in mind.
Not think about what is the least that I could do in order to be safe, but to think, on the other hand, what is the most that I could do to protect myself the most?
As opposed to what happened here in Cleveland, at tonight's debate, we're told masks will be required, and anyone refusing to wear one will be escorted out. We'll be watching. I'm 5 on Your Side investigator Jonathan Walsh.